Viewers, the latest news about Ethiopia, Amhara, and Tigray region is that, according to the latest reports, since yesterday I have been seeing posts, pictures by several news sources, mostly news sources, claiming that in Gombel, our region of Ethiopia, several civilians have been killed in attacks by fighters of Gambela. Liberation Front (GLF). I wouldn't share the names of the news sources, but several top if you open news sources should be reporting that since yesterday. I have been in touch with Gambala Liberation Front commanders as I stay in touch with all groups commanders because that is how I get information people from people they still in touch with me, so I try to confirm what happened in Kampala because we know that Compare Elevation Fund GLF allied by Catalog Paul signed an agreement, a peace deal with the government a few weeks ago. Talks were held in South Sudan, then talks were held in Addis Ababa. Then he was seen with Gambara regional government officials, and later I reported that some fighters of Evaluation Fund they were complaining that government wasn't provided us uniform and shoes to them as they are receiving military training now, training to be a part of security forces in the region. Now GLF has denied being involved in this fighting. GLF leader, one commander said that information season clashes erupt between two tribes in Kampala. The clash is erupt every year in Italy, special Varada. There are two Kabylites in the Varada, inhabited by two different tribes, two different ethnic groups, inhabited by News and Penwar Kabyle, inhabited by any. These two tribes are involved in dispute over land, so whenever farming season start, the two tribes start clashes. It happened in the past as well. That is what happened in Kampala yesterday. There is no involvement of GLF. GLF has been dismantled. Its fighters are undertaking military training. They are not taking training as a center. So there is no GLF there. And there is what locals confirmed as well. So I don't know from where these Ethiopian news sources are reporting about resumption of fighting between Compare Liberation Front and security forces. Another incident in Gambala is about infiltration into Gambala from South Sudan. We know that Morali tribe from South Sudan, more led tribe fighters, they enter Gambala and the carry out attacks Morali. Tribe fighters entered Gambala and they carried out an attack reportedly in New York zone of the Gambala region, and 8 casualties are being reported by Gambala regional government, 13 injured separate incident. One incident is about infiltration of fighters from Modular tribe from South Sudan into Gambala. Other incident is about internal fighting between two tribes in Gambala. There is no involvement of GLF in these two incidents of clashes. I think correction should be made because we still have been signed in Gambala. Incorrect reporting can affect the peace agreement and where Tigray and other regions where fighters have laid down their arms. Furthermore, the state-owned Ethiopian electricity utility said it has suffered huge losses of more than 23 million birr due to theft of electrical infrastructure in the last 9 months of the current fiscal year alone. Abeb Thespa, EEU Director of the Directorate of Legal Services State Media, that the high level of theft and destruction of electricity infrastructure is challenging the service. According to him, 23.5 million birr worth electric infrastructure was stolen, mainly in the capital Addis Ababa and Amhara and Oromia regional states. This has created further loss to the service in the addition to the damage it sustained due to two-year war in the Tigray, Afar and Amara regions. In the last 9 months alone, 137 infrastructure thefts have been committed, amounting to 23.5 million birr, EES said, adding the loss include losses due to the theft on electric power itself. Police investigations confirm that there are organized groups and their accomplices behind the robbery. Abe said. There are also mounting concerns that wires and metals equipments are being found including in large factories after a thorough investigations. Abib further said that although there are enough legal provisions to prevent such robberies, the gaps in their implementations has heightened the problem. The first victims are communities, the director said, and called local administrations to fulfill their duty to protect the properties as stipulated in the law. In February this year, electricity supply was cut off in Dessie, Haik, Kutabar, Vuchale, Bistima, Albuquerque, and Digaga districts and their areas due to the looting of the towers that were providing services through 66 kV electricity transmission line that stretched from Kombolcha city, Dessie in Hamara regional state. Similarly, the towers carrying 66 kV transmission lines stretching from Dessie to Voldia stolen 3 times between September 22 and February this year. Suspects of the theft in Kompolcha Dessie transmission line were apprehended by security forces in Kompolcha city and were being investigated according to EEU. Last year, Ethiopian Electric Power Transmission Lines and Distribution Stations Operations Sector said that in the 2014 Ethiopian calendar alone, some 756 tons of steel was stolen from electric steel towers, resulting in a loss of 100 million birr. Some 24 high power transmission steel towers were completely cut off and their iron and conductors looted, as well as some 3257 different metals were removed from the towers that were still standing during the reported period. So, viewers, that's all from my side. Thanks for watching.